I could choose any animal, I think I would choose my dogs. They are living their best life.
Same.
Right, exactly. Like I have 3 also, and they are all living their best life. So I would definitely have to be one of my dogs. Yes.
That's fun. Hey y'all, Lauren Michelle here with Choosing to Shine Reflections, the deep conversation game that gets to the heart of who you are. And today's guest is Liz. Welcome, Liz.
Hi, Lori Michelle. Thank you for having me.
So nice to meet you. So just to remind the viewers, we will get into how we kind of were connected, but this is the first time that, even though I know about you, it's the first time that we've met. So I think you may be the first person that I've had on the podcast that I didn't actually know personally. So this is kind of exciting, something a little new here.
That's fun. I'm excited.
All right. And if this is the viewer's first time, we are going to draw some conversation questions. And then Liz has 4 game changers that she can use. One is a wild heart. She can use that however she wants. She can skip a question. She can pull another question. She can ask me a question or have me answer a question, whatever she wants to do. There's a block, a flip. The questions are 2-sided. So if she doesn't like the top one, she is more than welcome to flip that over. And then defer, which means I feel like that's a good question, but I don't have an answer right now. So we'll hold it to the end. Any questions about that?
Sounds fun.
All right, great. So let's shuffle these up. And my deck is a little thin because what I've been trying to do is as people come on, I've been pulling the cards out so we don't have repeat questions, and I'm almost through the deck. So I think I have maybe like one more podcast left, and then we'll shuffle them all back in.
You're going to have to get a new deck.
Yeah. All right. So what's something that you should be afraid of, but you aren't? Or what's an irrational fear of yours?
Oh, those are both good questions.
Mm.
So, I think I'll go with the first one. What's something that you should be afraid of, but you aren't? Is that the question?
That is correct. I'll put that right there so everybody can see it.
I have a little bit of a fear that with doctors, but I think most people are afraid of dentists. And I don't feel that way. I'm very picky about my teeth. So I feel like that's probably a fear that most people have is the dentist, that I do not. Whereas my opposing fear is a doctor's office.
I'm kind of the same way, actually. I don't mind going to the dentist, but doctors are like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. You never know what you're walking out of there.
Right. And I just remembered that I forgot to light my candle. So I'm going to go ahead and light that. And that just helps me or remind me to set an intention of community through our deep conversations. Just like a little meditation candle. Okay. All right. Next question. Ooh, these are good ones. What's a conspiracy theory that you believe in? Or what's a conspiracy theory that you don't believe in, but you want to?
Oh, both of those are great. And you've met my husband, so those are perfect questions to come my way. I think I'll go with the first. And I don't know necessarily a conspiracy. I feel like there's a lot of conspiracy based around our food. And, the stuff that goes into our food. So if you believe that's, a conspiracy theory, I would have to say I have to believe in that, is that there is just so much that we are not aware of that's happening with our food and the things that are going into our food that I feel like is affecting us in so many ways now. And I know that a lot of people tend to think that is a conspiracy theory to some. And I wholeheartedly believe that there are so many things in our food that are poisoning us. So
Yeah,
I would have to go with what's in our food.
I agree with that. The things that I do know are just like, whoa. And then I do believe there's a lot more going on in the big factories that we are unaware of. I don't know about you, but I'm just going to take bananas as an example. I love bananas, and they have changed so much. Like, you're buying the same brand of banana for 20 years or more, and organic, and the taste is different, the texture is different, how they ripen is different. Like, something's going on.
Absolutely. Glyphosate is a big one. I think that most people read in headlines right now that they're not real sure, whether that's true or not, or if it is causing diseases or is not, or linked to it. So I believe there's a lot of talk around that, and that I believe has a lot of link to our farming industry. So our fruits and vegetables are affected by that.
Yeah, that's important. I feel like we could dive deeper into that, but maybe we'll talk about that a little bit at the end if we have time. All right, let's see here. When was a time you surprised yourself with your own courage? Or if fear wasn't a factor, what bold move would you make right now?
Wow. Those are both great questions. God, I would love to answer both of them. No, I think I'll go with the first one.
Okay.
Something that feeling of encouragement, that's the question?
When was the last time you surprised yourself with your own courage?
Yeah, I at 40 years old went back to school, changed a career I had been in for 25 plus years, and just jumped straight into it. Terrified, not sure the outcome would be of changing careers at that age and going back to school after not being in school for many, many years. But I surprised myself, and it was a wonderful leap that I'm glad I took.
Okay. And I have a feeling that's going to be us getting into your status-based questions at the end of these questions. So we'll defer that to the end as well. So now we have two things I want to talk to you about. I want to go a little deeper. All right. If the universe sent you a symbol to guide you, what would it look like? Or if you could receive one divine download, what would it say?
Oh, I'll go with the first one.
Okay.
Especially since my husband, this is a really great one. We have a thing with pinky promise. So there is a symbol that you can see online that links the pinkies. And anytime I see that, it's kind of like just brightens my day. That that's like a symbol to me. It means a lot to me. So anytime I see the pinky promise or hear somebody say pinky promise, or I see that symbol, it just makes me feel really great inside, because that's just a thing between my husband and I that we said to each other in our vows during our marriage.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Yeah, I hear like a lot of people saying, like, I asked for a sign to find like a nickel on the ground, or to see a cardinal, or things like that. I've never heard the pinky promise one. I like that. I like that was different. All right, let's see here. I like that you're getting all different mixes of colors too. So there's like 6 different colors, and the last 3 times I filmed, the questions were like all the same color, which was really odd. I don't know, just little things that I noticed. What is a word that always sounds silly? Or what are the little things that make you happy?
Oh, I think I'll use my flip and do the second one.
All right.
So I have to say the little things that make me happy is I am surrounded by an amazing support system. And with all the changes I've endured in the past year, The small things that mean a lot is the support from my friends and family. And as I navigate through the new journey of building a new business and going to school and changing careers, they have showed up in ways that I couldn't have imagined. So just those small supportive steps that my spouse and my family and friends have given me through that journey.
Oh, that's really nice. I love that you have the support you need to change careers. I went through a divorce about 5 years ago now, and I also changed careers about 3 years ago, from like wedding planning and wedding coordinating to banking fraud. And it was just like, I was just kind of done. Like, I'm almost 60. I'm 14 hours on my feet every day. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just too much. So I'm like, I just want a desk job. And I found happiness in both places. So I understand that.
That's great. I did the complete opposite. I had a desk job in mortgage banking for 20 plus years, and then decided that was no longer for me.
All right. I didn't know you were in banking. That's interesting. And I didn't introduce you, but this is Chloe. This is my little Chihuahua.
Aw, she's so precious.
All right. Let's get you one more question here. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. What mythical creature do you wish existed? Or if you could turn into an animal for a day, which one would it be?
Oh, but I already used my flip, right?
You did, but you do have a wild heart, so you can use it to flip it if you want.
Yeah, I think I'll have to go with the second one.
Okay.
If I could choose any animal, I think I would choose my dogs. They are living their best life.
Same.
Right, exactly. Like, I have 3 also, and they are all living their best life. So I would definitely have to be one of my dogs. Yes.
That's fun. And what kind of dogs do you have?
We have quite a pack. I have a pit bull, a Dogo Argentino, which is an Argentinian Mastiff, and I have an Australian Shepherd.
All right, very cool. All right, so I think I'll save these other 4 cards for the next guest next week. Did any questions or any of your answers surprise you?
Look, she's gonna come say hello. She's like, "Are you talking about dogs?"
Oh, hi, baby.
This is Hazel.
Hi,
No, not really. I really enjoyed that. That's it's fun to walk through that and to be so unscripted, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad you really liked it. Yeah, I've talked about this before, but I'm an introvert, but I'm not a shy introvert. So I do like going to networking events and talking to people and getting to know people. But I just hate the small talk. Like, I don't want to just walk up to someone. How's the weather today? Or what are you doing this weekend? Girl, where'd you get your nails done? Although sometimes I do want to know. You know what I mean?
No, those cards are such a fun way to get to know each other without all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the feedback. I am in the process of having these made. So we can get those out there and let other people have fun. And there's like a lot more activities. This is just like the shortened version for, so it's not overwhelming one-on-one.
Awesome. That's so fun.
All right. So I was introduced to Lizz through her spouse, and they live in the same neighborhood as me. And I've interviewed one other person. Did you watch Monica's? No, actually, Monica's is posting it will post this Sunday. So you haven't seen it yet, but someone else in the neighborhood. So I feel like that's interesting. You guys were back to back. And he was helping me out with some things, going through a divorce and having an old house and, I just really appreciated him. He's helped me out in some jams. Like I hit the well one time with the lawnmower, and there was like water spraying like 100 feet in the air. Help!
I'm so glad that he was able to help you.
Yeah, he's really sweet. Well, how did you guys meet?
So we met in high school,
Okay.
and then I moved away in high school and moved back when I was just turning 20 and he was joining the military. So we were kind of reunited, and once he joined the military, I left with him, and we got married and moved to Virginia. We've been together ever since.
All right.
So
And
we're
how
coming
long?
up on our 20-year anniversary.
20. All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then do you have children?
We do. We have a 16-year-old boy
Okay.
who is now starting to drive, which nobody prepares you for as a mother. So that's a whole nother fun adventure in my life right now.
I have a spot I'll tell you about afterwards around here that's really safe to go to.
Oh, great.
If you don't know, we'll talk after.
Okay.
All right. And then fill us in on what you went back to school for, and what your new career is.
Yeah, so I am a health and wellness coach and founder of Black Spoon Nutritional Wellbeing. So I fell into that. As I mentioned, I was previously in mortgage banking. I was at a desk job. I was going through my own health journey with autoimmune and chronic illnesses, and really found myself frustrated with conventional medicine, asking a lot of questions with the doctors and not getting a lot of answers, and turned to more of a functional medicine approach, which kind of led me down the path of, healing myself with food. Strongly believe food is medicine.
Very well branded.
As I started to heal myself with food and asking the questions and taking myself off medication, it became very clear that I was very passionate about that. And it was a long journey of being extremely sick for many years, and getting myself out of that, along with a few great functional medicine doctors and nutritionists that I had met along the way. But it became very clear that was my passion, and what I feel like my sense of purpose is that I went through that journey so I could learn from it and help others navigate their journey.
Oh, that's awesome. So I kind of had a similar experience when I was right before I started to go through my divorce and was under a lot of stress. And I kept going to the doctor just saying, like, I know I have cancer. Like, something's like so wrong with me. And they're like, no, like your blood work is fine. And then so I wouldn't get anywhere with that doctor. I'd go to another doctor. I went to like 3 different doctors, and none of that worked. And so I was like, well, I guess I should go find me like a holistic doctor. I start like telling my story and showed them my blood work, and they were like, well, sounds like you have chronic fatigue to me. I was like, oh, finally. I couldn't get out of bed. I was just like couch to bed bound. Everything hurt. I just was constantly sick. I caught everything, which is very, very unlike me. Like, I usually have a very healthy immune system. I don't really get sick. I have some allergies, but nothing major. And I just went through cleaning up my emotions and found out a lot about that connection with emotions and the body and where all those emotions are stored. And most definitely now I always go to the holistic functional medicine side of things before I reach out to any regular doctor, just because of my experience there. And when you were saying like you don't really trust the doctors versus the dentist. And I think that's why that was my experience as well, because I was so sick and they just kept saying, like, you just have like bronchitis, or you just have strep throat. You just have what did I have? Oh my God, I was so sick. What's the drinking virus that you picked? Mono.
Oh, yeah.
I never had mono. I got that when I was like 45. I literally thought I was dying. It was so bad for like so long. It was like 6 months.
Great for you for advocating for yourself. You know your body best. And I mean, that's what it's all about, is being able to advocate for your own health.
Yeah, so I would love to get your information and post that here in the description for our viewers, because that is like so important to, you know, go get your blood work done, but then have someone else look at it and actually find the root cause of what's going on, because I feel like a lot of doctors aren't trained in well care. They're trained in sick care, and sometimes we do need that, but a lot of times there's a lot, like a deeper digging that you need to do to actually find, like, I had no clue that stress could like make you like that. My whole life has been stressful if you watch my Echo series. And I had never been like that before. So I think it was just the chronic stress instead of the ups and downs. It was just like so chronic. So yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't realize that. And that's interesting as they come into the health coaching realm. Functional medicine doctors do focus a lot on, the health and nutrition aspect. But in health coaching, we look at it as a whole, your whole well-being. So stress is a number one thing that I see often. And without fixing the stress in your life, you're not really going to fix the nutritional part of your life before that. So that's a huge thing to know, the issues that chronic stress brings onto your body. Connection is another one. So I love what you're doing here, because connection is another something that people don't realize, that it totally affects your well-being. So it's very important to have that connection and that sense of community also. And in health coaching, we look at all of that and not just nutrition and movement.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So do you have like a specific, I don't know what it's called, genre of things you focus on, or you're just like whole body wellness? Or
so I do a whole well-being approach, but my niche is chronic illness. That's just where most of my knowledge is, from my own personal experience. So that's the niche I chose to go into. I treat everybody, whether you have chronic illness or not, but I specialize in those with chronic disease and chronic illness.
Okay, that's amazing. Anything else you want to tell us about?
No, I just think what you're doing here is wonderful, with the sense of the community. And like I said, you know your body best, and you did a wonderful job at advocating for yourself. But I feel like that's what most people are missing, is just knowing, not to not trust the doctors, but question. It's okay to question, advocate for your own health. And I feel like that's what drove me to go back to school, is to empower people to learn to advocate for themselves. And then, just to say that I'm honored that people allow me to be part of their health journey.
Where did your name come from? How'd you come up with that?
So I love that you asked that. With chronic illness, a lot of times people with autoimmune refer to themselves as spoonies. So that spoon symbol symbolizes that. And I just think that a lot of people associate the color green with health. But when I was in that era of my life of not feeling healthy, that was a dark time. So for me, I looked at it as the black spoon era, and then I transitioned into my well-being era. So it was just putting that together, was my black spoon nutritional well-being.
Yeah, I love that. And I am familiar with that spoonie term, but for those at home who aren't, you want to explain what that means, or you want me to?
Yeah, so a spoonie is how they refer to when you get up, start your day. You have so many spoons in the day to utilize. And there's different spoons that represent different levels of activity. So you use a spoon just to get out of bed. People don't realize that that takes effort for those suffering, especially with chronic fatigue. And then, you may use 2 spoons to get up and make your lunch for the day, and 3 spoons just to shower at the end of your day. So they refer to themselves as spoonies. And, there's only so much activity you can do in a day before you're out of a spoon.
Yeah. So I've talked a lot about, I went through a deep depression, actually almost exactly a year ago now. And for a long time, you have like a whole to-do list. Like I have a whole book of things I want to accomplish, right? But I would just go through that list and I would just pick out 3 things. Like that was my maximum some days. And some of them were wash your hair, make your coffee, do your laundry. It's like some days it's just like that's all I could do in a whole day. So those were my spoons. So I am familiar with that term. And
that's very real for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was. And I've always been like a workaholic, and I love creating things and putting like a lot of time and energy into a project. And I couldn't do any of it. It was just like couch to bed, bed to couch. And that was pretty much it. So yeah.
I hit that era as I turned 30, and I thought, this is crazy. I'm so young. This can't possibly be it for the rest of my life.
Right. And what was going on at the time that was happening?
So I have many autoimmunes I've experienced throughout my life since a teenager, majority of that being women related. And then once I had that taken care of, I was good. And I started the same way, kind of go downhill with fatigue first and just know I wasn't feeling right. Mm-hmm. And then I started with extreme inflammation and just a lot of pain just from regular daily movements that I wasn't having before. Mm-hmm. And it led me down the road of a lot of lab work and a lot of misdiagnoses. And it progressively got worse over the years as I was told I had one thing and would go on medication for that. The medication made something else worse. And then it was just one flow into another. And by the time it was said and done, I had 6 different diagnoses. And really, I have 2 chronic diagnoses that made sense. Mm-hmm. So it started off slow. Like you say, I noticed the fatigue. I noticed that. And then I just started noticing joint pain. And then I do have arthritis and fibromyalgia. So the joint pain came along with that, but it progressively got worse to the point where, like you said, just getting up and washing my hair and going to bed was a task.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm glad to see that you're so much better and that you've kind of thrown your diagnoses into a passion. And I can tell that you're just you're going to help so many people, because the people who've been through it are the ones, like you have firsthand experience, like you were there, 10, 15 years ago. And so I just know you're going to be able to help a lot of people. And I'm so happy that we met and can't wait to connect privately on a few things I'd love to talk to you about. And I think that's a good place to end it, unless you want to add anything else.
No. Thank you so much for having me today. It was a lot of fun. And I'm sorry about my dogs barking in the back.
It's fine. Hey, this is unscripted, right? This is real life. I don't want anybody.
Where we live and in our neighborhood with the deer, and it's prime deer time right now. So she's having a fit.
Yeah, like I've been filming, and I guess for the viewers, we live in a very rural area. So I've been filming, and like my neighbor, like out the back window, is like target practicing. You know, I'm like, oh, excuse me, there's like bullets going off. You know, it's real life. Things happen, and that was one of the things that I really wanted to do, was not cut out any of the imperfections, because life is imperfect and people should be able to
She's telling you all about it. She's like, Lori Michelle, there's a deer out the window.
But yeah, I hope people enjoy the format. You know, there's some slow points, there's some mess ups, but it's messy, it's real. And I'm so happy that you joined us today, Liz. And if you hold tight, I'd just like to talk to you about a few things.
Sure.
And I just want to tell the viewers, if they want the questions from this episode so they can journal, I am going to be putting together something. Just comment below and I will get you some questions, or I can refer you over to my Instagram, where a lot of times I do post a couple of reflection questions for the week. So as always, love to all. Talk to you guys soon.